Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Good evening. Welcome to the Bo and Joe Show.
Yep.
As you can see, our fearless leader is not here. Our Tom Brady is not here tonight, and there's a reason for it. It is her birthday. So if she's happened to be tuning in while enjoying a great meal with her family, happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday.
Absolutely. So listen, I mean, for those of you who've watched the show long enough to know that there's something about Joe and the name Joe, right?
Right.
My dad, my uncle, cousins, brother, nephews, her dad, her son. I mean, it's just, I can't get away from Joe. Tomorrow, I'm hanging out with a guy named Joe. We're headed to an event tomorrow, and I'm telling you, I just can't get away. Can't get away, Crispy Bacon. Can't get away. So listen, we're going to have a different show tonight. It will not be an hour. It'll be a half hour. We're going to, because we've had some days that we've missed, some episodes that we've missed. So I'm going to do a rapid recap of some current events that have happened. And Crispy Bacon, listen.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but I love grits, bacon, biscuits, buttermilk biscuits, a nice Southern breakfast, right? So we're going to start off with a nice Southern breakfast, and then we're going to end with a BLT.
There you go.
Right? We're going to end with a BLT. So let's get started. So I want to start with, and you can correct me, but the last time we were on, I think I did a shout out to Oklahoma Sooners, University of Oklahoma softball team, ladies softball team.
Yes.
They won the NCAA title. And there's one young lady on that team from Hawaii who is the all-time home run hitter. And when I tell you, this young lady can just long ball it. She is amazing. So shout out to Oklahoma's University of Oklahoma for winning the women's NCAA softball tournament. Unfortunately, the men did not win. They got beat by Ole Miss. Had they won, the men's baseball team, it would have been the first time a university had a baseball team and a softball team win the championship in the same year. So, well, we missed out. So while we're on the topic of Ole Miss winning in an upset because Oklahoma was favored, let's talk about Arch Manning.
Heard about that, yeah.
Not following in any of his Hall of Fame uncles, because I'm pretty sure both the Manning brothers will be in the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure Eli's going to get there, right? Peyton just got in. Eli's going to get in.
Yeah.
So, but the older brother, and I'm sorry, I forget the older brother's name, but his son Arch was the top quarterback in the nation. In high school, he decided to bypass Tennessee, bypass Ole Miss, and go to Texas.
I mean, he's still going to be in the SEC, so.
Yeah, because they're eventually going to move to the SEC. That is correct.
So he's keeping that trend.
Yeah, and a good decision by him, right? So the rich keep getting richer.
Right, yeah.
Because Texas is a good program. They haven't been great in a while, but they're a good program. So
we, in the comments we got Frank saying, "Joe, don't you know?" I think circling around to our beginning, and then he's asking, "Will the Knicks ever get anything right?"
listen, I don't know if the Knicks will ever get anything right. I was a freshman when they drafted Patrick Ewing after Villanova beat Georgetown for the title. And everybody was all up in arms because they figured it was rigged. That's how New York got Patrick Ewing. That's 39 years ago.
Oh wow.
But I'm not going to complain because the word on the street is they're trying to pick up Jalen Brunson, who's a Villanova grad and had an outstanding season with the Dallas Mavericks. So I can't be mad at him. Jalen get paid, right? It is what it is. See what happens. Just want to quickly talk about the issue with the quarterback, Watson, for the Cleveland Browns. That's an issue. It's unresolved. And it's a black eye for the NFL. They've got to deal with that and handle that. And that puts Baker Mayfield in a more precarious situation, right? He has no idea what's going to happen, right? So that's making his life even miserable. So they've got to, hey, it's the Browns. What can we say, right? If you look at their history, recent history, it's the Browns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They weren't bad when Jim Brown was there.
No.
That goes way back.
Yeah.
Right? Way back.
It does.
Did you watch the NHL finals at all?
Here and there. I didn't watch every game, but I saw what happened, and good job for Colorado.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to be the champ, you got to beat the champ, and they did. They beat a two-time champ. So kudos to them. Good deal.
Yeah.
They'll celebrate. Now they'll be the target next year.
Well, and
right?
the draft's coming really quick. Free agency's coming quick. Their season's faster than most sports, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. So we'll see what happens. Now, how about this big brouhaha, and we talked about it a little bit, between the PGA, the professionals, and the Saudi Live Tour. That's getting ugly.
Yeah. It is. I mean, yeah, the PGA is the top place or the top company to play golf, but everybody's trying to find their way to improve their game.
Yep.
And also it's about money too, but they're also trying to improve their game.
Yep.
And if that's the only way they think they can, they'll do anything.
Absolutely. I mean, from what I understand, the top 15 ranked players haven't defected or switched over yet.
Right.
So we will see, especially this summer, how things play out. But, the Saudi organization, the Saudi Tour organization, hey, it's a lot of money they're throwing out there.
It is.
And it's causing the PGA to change the way they do business in terms of, in the Saudi Tour, the last guy still earns a paycheck. And we talked about this. Well, Guess what? The PGA Tour just changed, where now there's more money, right?
Right.
And more guys can win, part of the purse during the tour, right? During an event.
Yeah.
Right. So.
But But the one thing that I guess Liv has up on the PGA is no one's eliminated. You know, there's no cut down days, so
Yeah, yeah,
and I bet that's coming next, eventually down the road, maybe.
yeah. It again, they're feeling themselves out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the baby stage, but that's a big baby, right? In terms
Yeah.
of that money that they're throwing out there, that's a big baby, right? So they're going to figure their way out,
Mm-hmm.
and the golfers are going to have to figure it out. But on one hand, competition is good.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, it's how you approach it, and the fighting and the bickering back and forth. I guess that's part of business today.
Yeah.
But it'll work itself out. So I agree. It's going to work itself out. Gronk. Did you hear Gronk retired?
For the second time, third time, I don't.
I mean, what is Gronk doing? Gronk is having the time of his life. Again, the same thing I said about TB12 when the word was he was retiring. Until he hands in his retirement papers, I don't believe it.
Right. I don't either.
I don't believe it because
he'll come back.
Right.
They're gonna need a receiver to fill in. He's like, I'm available.
He's gonna wait till the last minute before he decides what he's going to do. And so, for those who follow Gronk, hold your horses, simmer down. wait till the preseason starts, and let's see where this ends up. So, it's all good. It's all good. Any comments so far? Any new comments?
No, not so far. No.
Not yet. Well, let me jump on. Let's jump on the Warriors, the new champs. Kudos to the Warriors. Kudos to Steve Kerr. Kudos to Curry and his team. He finally wins the MVP of the series to go along with his MVP season. He has at least 2 of those.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what a great series. They were going at it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And because go ahead.
I was going to say, both teams kind of one-upped each other a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like, so.
Absolutely. Now, because I'm in Philadelphia and it's all Philly, right? The Sixers, the Eagles, the Flyers, the Phillies. I can't root for Boston. Sorry, can't do it. Can't do it. So there was no rooting for Boston in this at all. I wanted to really see a good series, but how can you not like that babyface assassin, Curry?
Right.
I mean, he just and he had a bad game. What was it? The 4th or 5th game?
Yeah.
5th game. He had a bad night.
Right.
But I was having a conversation, and I said, listen, probably was talking to my dad. I said, listen, people tend to forget Michael Jordan had some bad shooting nights as well. And that's why it's important to have a great team to help you out when you're the leader and you're having a bad night. Right? Steve Kerr was on that team, right? Tony Kukoc, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman. He had all kinds of talent around him. He had to, they had to get there and build it. But so I didn't think it was a big deal that Curry had one bad shooting night.
Everybody's going to have an off day, a day where they don't perform, like they usually do. So
that's what
happens
team's all
on
about.
A regular basis.
Yeah. But that's what a team's all about. Hey, people tend to forget Thompson missed 2 seasons MCL and Achilles, so it took him some time, and he's probably not 100%, right? He's still finding
Right.
himself because he missed half the season. He didn't really come back until the halfway point of the season, if I remember it correctly. So
I
he
believe
didn't
so,
have
yeah.
a full season. So if he stays, I think he will. I think the owner's going to keep that team together. Draymond Green had a comment. Did you hear about the comment where he said they could win the next 3 out of 4 championships?
Oh.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, let's not become the Heat now. Let's not do the we're gonna win 3, no 4, no 5, no 6.
You remember that, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that didn't
LeBron,
work
he
out
was-
too well.
It didn't work out too well, but he was feeling the juice, the excitement, right?
Right.
He was definitely feeling it, and yeah, that didn't work out too well. They won 2, but they didn't get the 6 and 7 like he was anticipating.
So Joe's saying Kuak had the biggest contract. Kukoc, yeah.
Kukoc. Yeah, Kukoc, but Kukoc was good. I mean, he didn't meet his expectations, but Kukoc was good. I mean, you have to give the dude credit. He was good. But remember, Mike was the dominant personality. He was the alpha, right?
Right.
I mean, I heard stories, and I'm not sharing anything new. You know, there's a story out there about how Mike and Steve Kerr got into a fight in practice. So Mike was probably impossible to deal with, but he wanted to win, and some leaders function that way. And then there's the opposite of that personality, which is Curry. He's not, that alpha in practice, right? And in the game, he's the babyface assassin because he plays a different game anyway. So, but yeah, so NBA draft. I actually recorded it,
right,
and followed it on my phone, at Fox Sports app. But again, I don't know how you felt about it, but I mean, I figured usually the kids that were going to go 1 through 15 went.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't that unpredictable, or I wouldn't say not unpredictable, but you kind of knew where they're gonna be.
Absolutely. So it's all about where those guys fit in, how will they fit in, and what they're going to do when they get to their prospective teams. And so, I mean, when was the last time a rookie had that much of an impact on a team other than LeBron James? I would say Curry.
Maybe Kobe,
Shaq, Patrick Ewing. I'm going to go far back as Patrick.
Right.
We don't need to go all the way back to Michael. Not even Michael. Go back as far as Magic and Bird. But yeah, so to me, it's all about just waiting to see how these guys develop anyway. So, for those folks who play fantasy, is there fantasy basketball?
There is.
Oh, please.
I think there's fantasy. There's fantasy football, baseball, basketball.
Oh.
And I think hockey. But
sorry, I can't get into it, brother.
yeah,
I gotta watch.
I can't either.
I gotta watch the real thing.
Yeah.
I gotta watch the real thing.
Right.
Did you hear Ohio State talking about egos, maniacs? Did you hear what Ohio State did?
No.
They trademarked the word "the," because people who love Ohio State, the Ohio State.
Yeah.
They trademarked "the" so they can be the only school to say the Ohio State. If you use the word "the" in front of your school, you're gonna have to pay a royalty.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Well, I mean that's not the only I guess, crazy thing like KFC, it was Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Hmm.
Well, I think they trademarked Kentucky, but the state of Kentucky said you can't really do that or something like. I don't know.
Well,
But
I
they're
can, I
trying
can,
to trademark Kentucky.
right. I can see how they would lose that battle because Kentucky's been around well
Yeah.
before Kentucky Fried Chicken. And
Right.
it may be the reason why they went to KFC because they just broke it into an acronym,
Yeah.
right? So,
Uh-huh.
but I just think, I mean, I have a college buddy, a high school buddy, teammates who love Ohio State. So I'm gonna have to deal with that. I'll figure out how I'm going to deal with that the closer we get to the season. So how about, let me just offer my advice to any athlete, professional athlete, since we're a sports show
Mm-hmm.
and we do talk about human interest stories. If you're traveling to Canada, you have to be vaccinated. You can't get in unless you're vaccinated. There's a couple of baseball teams just found out how important that is because the Yankees was losing to
Toronto.
no, I got the wrong game. There was a team playing in Toronto, and the team didn't have a few pitchers, bullpen starters, and a few position players that weren't vaccinated. They couldn't get in, they couldn't play, and
Right.
they ended up losing the game because of their important players not being able to travel into the country. So folks,
Oh,
come
wow.
on, we've been through this. If
Yeah.
you're traveling and you're going to Canada, they are absolutely not playing any games. You can't get in. You can't finagle your way in. You can't play games.
COVID's not dead. We may think it is, but it's not.
It's not.
Still
So
take your precautions.
just stop it, man. You're hurting your team. They hurt their team. Their team lost. That game might come back and haunt them.
Yep.
So have you been watching the USFL at all?
I have a little bit. I know it's down to 2 teams, Philadelphia.
Absolutely. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Philly and Birmingham. And so, obviously, I have to pull for the Philly team.
Right.
I have quite a few family members in Alabama.
So
And
you could kind of go either way, I guess.
no, I'm not going either way. I'm sticking with Philly. And I think Philly can pull the upset because they pulled the upset and beat New Jersey, who was leading that division the whole entire season. 6-4 Philly beat 9-1 New Jersey. So if they can beat 9-1 New Jersey, they can beat a 10-1 Birmingham.
True.
I'm hoping that happens.
But for Birmingham, this is kind of like home field advantage in a way.
Well, it was during
In
the
a way.
season. It was during the season, but now they've played the playoff games in Canton. So the championship game is on Sunday, 7:30 on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be watching, and but I think, as I said at the beginning of the season, I think there's at least 15 players from that league. I think more players would get invites to the NFL, but I think there's at least 10 or 15 players will make an active roster in the NFL because they really do have some great players.
Yeah, this can be the next round of free agency, with this, USFL, and then, who knows what will happen to the coaching staff, but they could get, they're getting looks at 2 for maybe coaching spots down the road if teams don't like who they have right now.
I agree. No doubt about it. So I'm interested in seeing how this plays out. Um, and I'm interested to see what happens after the end of the season, what these players do, how the NFL is going to incorporate them into their late July
Right.
practices, maybe early August practice. Are they going to give these? And here's the thing: what are those athletes going to do? Are they going to, those who get an opportunity? Are they going to rest and fall out of shape, or are they going to continue to work out because they don't want to go through that getting back in shape, football shape process?
Right.
It's going to be interesting to see how they handle that, because that's going to be important
I
for.
think I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say I think they'll look at other teams maybe that are if they're playing or if there's some kind of league, you know.
Well, here's what I know: the championship game is this Sunday.
Right.
The NFL starts, if not in late July, definitely in August, practice. So the question
Right.
is, will the guys who get an opportunity to get invited and sign some contracts in the NFL, will they take 2 weeks off? Will they take the entire month of July off after the championship game and then go immediately to the team that signs them in August? I'm trying to think, what would I do? Would I take a 2 weeks off? Would I take 3 weeks off? Or would I keep working out, especially if I'm not injured? Would I take the whole entire month to stay in shape so I can go to camp and be a little bit ahead of some of those pros who are trying to get in football shape because they've been off since February, right?
Yeah. Right. I I
So
would I would take a little break if I wasn't injured. I'd take maybe a week off.
I take a week off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't
And
want to
again,
take
I
too
guess
much time.
you don't want to, but also it depends on how beat up you are, right?
Yeah.
How sore you are, how beat up you are. And I guess they'll have those conversations with their trainers and so forth, their personal trainers and so forth. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So we've got what, 2 minutes left. Um,
Right. We have a couple
happy,
people.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my pops. He made it in.
Yep.
um, I started this, a couple of weeks ago, talking about the bad behavior in sports
Yes.
from parents, right? The
Right.
surrounding community that these kids are playing sports in. And 2 weeks ago, around June 18th, I got invited to the University of Penn, and there was a New Balance Invitational, a track event. Old buddy of mine who played college football for the University of Maryland from the mainline area, Chad Sidnor, his daughter won the states in a particular heat that she participated in. And so she got invited to this event. So I went down and hung out with the Sidnor family. And I tell you, I mean, I ran track in junior high, high school. And I got to tell you, the experience I had in that stadium was incredible. I mean, it really was a family atmosphere, right? There
Right.
was no fights. There was no yelling in terms of bad behavior. I mean, the kids were there to compete and show their talents, and the families were there, and friends were there, coaches was there, rooting them on. I got to tell you, it was a great event, a great total experience, um, and that's the kind of experience kids need to see at a sporting event.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
kudos to the University of Penn, kudos to New Balance for that event that they had. Kudos to all the folks that, and there were folks from all over the country, Texas, up and down the coast, you know, Middle America, Illinois, all the way down to Texas, maybe even California. So it was a really good event. And so I was happy to be there and happy to see it. And that's the kind of atmosphere we've got to root for and hope for at other events. This bad behavior in sports has to stop.
It
We got to
does.
figure it out. We got to figure it out. Right?
Right.
So listen, this is the end of our show. If I didn't give you what you wanted, hey, listen, it's probably what you needed, and we'll catch you. We will do our best to catch you next Wednesday.
Yeah.
So thanks for stopping in. Crispy bacon, make that BLT for folks who likes BLTs versus tuna salads and turkey salads.
Right.
And we will catch y'all on the Oh, I got to do my shout out. I can't forget Cheney.
There you go.
My Cheney. Shout out Cheney. Can't miss up Cheney. All right, listen. Hey, everyone, have a great 4th of July weekend, a great 4th of July Monday, and we will see you on the sunny side of town.